If I can have your attention again here in the Media Center. This time we welcome Kyle Busch, driver of the number 18 M&M's Toyota. Kyle, you come into Pocono 5th in points with 2 wins this season so far. Just talk a little bit about your strategy coming into this weekend's race.
Well, this week's always a little bit challenging for us. You know, it's not the typical Bristol or Richmond or Charlotte or something where we know how to run there or expect to run there. You know, this kind of place throws us a little bit for a loop every time we get here, whether we run up front or whether we kind of struggle a little bit. So last spring was really good for us. We sat on the pole and led a lot of laps and ran real well, and then towards the end we ended up finishing second to Denny, I believe. So in the fall race we just kind of meandered back about 12th to 15th all day. So didn't quite get everything we wanted, but you know, we'll see if we can't turn the tables here again this time and try to run up front and get a good finish this weekend for all our M&M's guys.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions here in the Media Center. As always, please state your name and affiliation. We'll go ahead and start right here with Chris. Go ahead.
Chris Johnson, NASCAR Illustrated. Kyle, with all the off-track incidents in the last month or so, I'm just wondering, do you ever carry those distractions inside the car, or is it easy for you to kind of compartmentalize? And is it the case when you get in the car, is that a haven for you to even look more forward to getting into the car in times like these?
Yeah, I mean, it's different for every driver, but in my particular case, I feel like once you get out onto the racetrack, or once you get in the car and put your helmet on, and then out on the racetrack, you know, that's where your priorities lie and that's where your focus is. So to me, it doesn't seem that challenging.
All right, raise your hand right here.
Tom Bowles, frontstretch.com. Kyle, do you feel like you have a respect issue in the garage area with other drivers and teams? And more importantly, do you feel like you need the respect of everybody in the garage area to be successful?
I can't answer the first part for you. You'd have to ask everybody else. But, you know, as far as needing respect in the garage area, certainly. You know, it makes your day a little bit easier, makes your job a little bit easier. But, you know, I've been able to have good conversations and talk to people outside the race car or at driver intros or stuff like that. So whether it's the case that they're not being true to my face, I don't know. I can't read that. I'm not in people's minds. So, you know, you'll just have to, if you're mad at me, you'll have to tell me.
Okay, we'll take a question right over here on to the right. Then we'll go back to Joe.
Kyle, Colin Riccabon from WBRE here in Wilkes-Barre. What are your thoughts on the new qualifying? Reading there's some mixed reaction. Yeah, to me, the whole schedule is a little weird. You know, you come in today and you get the first practice, and the first practice is going to base your time for qualifying, and then you go into the second practice, which is later in the day, about when the race is going to end, and then you know there's going to be a lot of grip. Probably when the track starts cooling off just a little bit around the 4:30, 5 o'clock time. So, you know, we'll see how it pans out. But you know, you come in on Saturday and you run one lap, and then you have nothing else to do, and then you wait until the race on Sunday. That to me is a little weird. You know, I like the old schedule a lot better. Just personal preference. If I had an opinion, I would just say that you know you come in, you run some race laps to get yourself acclimated to the track. You switch over, you go to qualifying trim, you make some laps, you qualify that afternoon, that evening, whatever it might be, and then the next day you have 2 practice sessions solely devoted to your race car and what you might need to work on for Sunday. And so to me that's a more productive schedule.
Okay, we'll take a question in the back from Joe and then come back up here to David.
Joe Menzer, NASCAR.com. Kyle, it was a little over a month ago you rode into Charlotte for that PR appearance, and you were joking about now wearing the white hat, and that was more fun. Then you've had kind of a crazy month. Are you rethinking that whole white hat, black hat thing, or just forgetting all about it?
I'm not sure that there's really any hats to be worn here. You know, the black hat deal, the villain type thing, I'm not sure that I really did a whole lot to bring that back upon myself. I feel like I've acted in the utmost respect to every case that's come up my way and has been thrown in front of me. I've tried to do it with dignity and class, and you know, I feel like that comes from people wearing white hats, not black.
Okay, David.
Yeah, Kyle, David Newton, ESPN.com. 2 things. First, it's been a week since what happened last week. Any better understanding for what led to that, or what pushed him over the edge for Richard to come seek you out? And the second part is, as an owner, any damage that happens to your truck, you're going to pay them for it. Do you think it would, if drivers paid for anything that happened to a car after the checkered flag, that would kind of curtail things like that?
The first part of the question, what brought it up, I guess, me giving a congratulatory bump to Joey Coulter is what tipped him over the edge there. I don't recall any time face-to-face conversation where Richard did tell me, if you touch another one of my cars, I'm going to come find you. I don't know if it was ever said in the media, but it was never relayed to me. And then, the second part was what? Oh, as an owner. If he came to me and was so upset about it, I would have offered him money to fix it. I'm an owner in this sport. I know there's going to be torn up equipment here and there sometimes, whatever. And that, I will say that if I didn't roll out of the throttle, we both would have crashed off of turn 4. But, the kid did what he was supposed to do on the last lap there. We raced each other for 18 laps, and I was having fun with him trying to keep him back, and I thought I had it done, and then he got on my inside down the backstretch there and pulled a slide job. It was, through 3 and 4 and kind of squeezed me up there. But, I had two options, lift and let him beat me, which is fine, no problem. We're racing for 5th in the Truck Series, it wasn't for a win. And then, or crash, the both of us. So, it wasn't necessary for any of that.
Okay, we'll take a question up here from Jim Utter and then go back to Claire B. Lang.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. I have two questions. First one's a quick one. Have you received any secret fines in the past 7 days that haven't been publicized from NASCAR?
No.
Second question, do you think that NASCAR should make penalty decisions, secret or otherwise, based on whether another competitor has threatened a lawsuit?
Ask the question again.
Do you think NASCAR should issue a penalty, secret or otherwise, based on whether or not a competitor's lawyer has threatened a lawsuit? This is not necessarily directly to your incident.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's it's not to my discretion, to be honest with you. It's further, to NASCAR to depose, but that's a great question for them. But for myself, what I don't know what I need an instance of what you're explaining. So besides all the information you've just given me, the question you've asked, that's all I can really comment further.